All right, good evening, everybody. So it's Jay again, and it is coming up on the next day of feeding your fruit trees, which is Memorial Day, which is right around the corner. So I wanted to talk about compost and I want to talk about feeding your fruit trees. And I want to give you a little reminder by showing you around the yard a little bit what happens when you put really good compost on your fruit trees, or if you plant with really good compost, if you're wanting the kind of fruit that I have. So after this little talk on the compost, I will go back and bump through the yard on some of the trees that are pretty much loaded full of fruit. And if you're wanting this, if you're wanting what I have on all these videos, then you have to feed the trees. So I feed them compost. I've been feeding them compost for the last 7 or 8 years, and my yard is exploded. Every fruit tree has fruit on it, whether it be a mango tree or a stone fruit tree. So whether it be a cold loving tree or a hot loving tree, I've got fruit on both this year in incredible fruit sets. So I wanted to talk about the different compost that I carry, and you guys can pick these up on the weekends. And I also have a couple distributors in the valley that you can pick this up from also. So I want to talk about this first one. This is the green with the green tie. So this is called Orchard. This is called Orchard Gold, and this is my planting compost, and this is what I plant my fruit trees with. And it depends on what fruit tree that you're using. So each one is going to get a little bit of a different mix. So I will briefly go over those mixes, and then you guys can kind of tailor it from there. But I'll tell you kind of what I do. So if it's like a nitrogen fixing tree or a native type tree, let's say like a mesquite tree or moringa, I'm going to use 25% compost, 75% native soil. That's because those trees like the native soil and they're there to fix it anyway, and they don't need much help. This gives them just a little bit of food, just a little bit extra food to give them a boost on their growing. Most trees are going to get like a 50-50 mix. Let's say like a citrus or a stone fruit tree, 50-50 mix is going to be good for them. If I'm doing a tropical tree like a longan, I might go 60%. If I'm going to do a mango tree, I'm definitely going to do 75%. So mangoes are now 75% compost, 25% native soil. They don't like the native soil. Now, if it's bananas, you can go a little heavier. You can maybe go 80 to 90% compost and 10% native soil, because bananas hog up all those organics and they're a different kind of plant all on their own. So you're going to feed those like kind of like a tomato. They're just going to eat and eat, okay? So the green is what you would use for in the ground mix. Now, let me talk about the next one. Okay, so the next one is the orange tie. And the orange tie is what you used for raised beds or pots. So if you want to see what kind of production you can get out of this, then you should come see my garden this year and my stuff in pots. The tomatoes are insane, and they're just pumping out a ton of tomatoes and eggplant and peppers. So this is one that you can pour directly into a unit and then grow directly into that vessel. Okay, so this is the yellow tie, this is the yellow tag, this is the Aztec Gold, and this is the feeding soil, and this is what you're going to be using here on Memorial Day coming up here pretty soon. You don't have to use a lot of it. You sprinkle this around the drip line of the tree at about a ½ inch, so you're not using a lot. One of these bags will cover a big citrus tree, and if you got smaller ones, it probably four. You probably do 4 citrus trees with one bag of this. So this is what I use as a top dresser, or as a feeder, if you will, on my plants here. So let me go over some of these fruit trees, and I'll kind of show you what you'll get out of planting these with good soils. All right, I'll just do this little area because I'm just right here. So from where I'm standing, let's see, we've got a ton of mangoes going on. Look at these mangoes, and look how beautiful that fruit is. Absolutely clean and just full of fruit. Tons of mangoes this year. Okay, let me step to the side here, and there's a peanut butter tree. So that peanut butter tree you see is just full of blooms. Look how many blooms are on this thing. This thing is just incredible. Right here next to a wild papaya. This thing grew on its own. Black sapote. I mean, look at this beautiful tree, just full of fruit. Look at this. Big old longan. So yeah, I mean, just step through here. And look at all the grapes. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh boy. Wow. Okay. Oy. So that's all grapes. And that's all grapes. And that's all grapes. And that's all grapes. And you turn around and that's all grapes too. Peach tree has so much fruit, it's just collapsing. I don't know if this shows up, but I bet it will. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God, yeah. Bananas. I mean, you ain't seen no bananas like these. Look at those bananas. Look at this stalk. It's like bigger than my rainbow eucalyptus trunk on this banana. All right, let me pick a different area real quick. Let's just briefly just walk through here. Because, man, peaches just, oh my God. Just bowing these trees over. Look at this one. This is that galaxy peach. Just tons and tons of fruit. Look at that. Look at that. And then this mango. I mean, look at these mangoes. Look how many mangoes there are. Oh my God. Oh my God. Mangoes mixed in with peaches. That's pretty cool. Okay, so this goes back to feeding your plants. So if you guys don't think that it's important to feed your trees, or if people kind of laugh it off and say that they don't think the immune system is important on trees, or that keeping them healthy keeps them from freezing, I'm telling you guys, it's all in the compost. This is how I fix these trees. And where else are you going to see a peach tree that requires chill hours like this right next to touching a mango that's putting on this much fruit that didn't freeze this winter at all? So it goes to tell you that, yeah, it's about the immune system and the strength of the plant, just like the strength of yourself if you go outside too. So guys, you got to get some good compost. And if you want this kind of fruit production, and if you want mangoes to just sprout when they fall on the ground like these do, then you got to get good soil. And the way you're going to get good soil is by getting good compost. And I've got this stuff available, and I'm available every weekend if you guys want to come by and ask questions or pick up some soil if you really want to bump your plants up to the level of plants that I have around here. I mean, look at this moringa. No freeze at all.